So I was on Reddit earlier today, and there was this thing from Alberta, the R Alberta discussion. And if you look on Reddit and you see the ones that are coming, like R Toronto, R Alberta, R anyone that is, a province or something, they're usually very left leaning, and you're gonna get banned if you say something like extremely moderate. Like I got banned off the Toronto one. I forget for what I said. I think I said diversity is our strength because it's there was some crime and it was some brown dude or something on it, and they immediately blocked me. But but nonetheless, I saw this thing on the Alberta one, and they were complaining about how a bunch of Albertans want to separate now. They're like, well, Trudeau is doing everything that he can, clearly, blah, blah, blah. But, I was going to respond to this guy, so I went and was looking up old articles from 2015, about his environmental regulations that he put in place. But, I came across this one paragraph that alerted me to this, like, cultural access pass that Trudeau said he's going to implement, or back in 2015 said he was going to start in 2018, where if you're a new Canadian for a year, and it's only been a year or less than a year, then you can sign up for a cultural access pass. That what do you get from it? You get free admission to museums, art galleries, science centers, national parks, marine conservation areas, historic sites, and more. As a CAP member, you also receive discounts on travel and free tickets for events and performances in select major cities. So, for the first year of a new immigrant coming into Canada, they get all of that free shit that, people have lived here their entire lives. Kids who have lived here their entire lives don't get this shit. And it's like, what? That's unacceptable. That's like, oh, we're just gonna give, if you come here, you only lived here a year, you haven't paid a cent in taxes, or barely any money whatsoever, then, oh, it doesn't matter, oh, we want to welcome you into Canada. And like, this costs money, okay? Discount travel and free tickets, like performances, like to national parks, science art galleries. Like, Canadian kids would love to go to these things too. A lot of them have lived here their entire lives and they haven't seen any of this shit. But we're gonna make sure that the new Canadians get all this, and they're gonna sell it like, well, you don't want them to be enriched in our culture, right? And you want them to integrate, and you want them to do this and that, right? It's like, yeah, but not on my dime. Doesn't mean I want you to steal my money to make these people integrate or like Canada and like what we have here. They should already like it. They chose to come here, so they should already like it. They should already know somewhat about our fucking history and how we do things here, what language we speak. They should already value this shit. We don't need to spend money doing that. It's a slap to the face to other Canadians, to old stock Canadians, like I said, that have been here for generations and don't get access to these things. And it's like, what, he's just buying more votes. That's all it is. He's gonna say, oh, just being nice and all that. No, you just want to make sure that when they come into Canada, they think, oh, the Trudeau man, he's the one that came up with all these things to give us all this free stuff, and the other mean parties they're gonna want to take it away from us. But it's like, it's blatant vote buying. This should be like illegal. You should not, like, people who first come into the country should not be able to get privileges that the regular citizens do not have, just by virtue of them being new here. That's unacceptable. But some stupid liberal idiots are gonna look at this like, oh, this is a great thing. This is amazing. This is so nice. Canada, I feel so great. Canada's such a great country. We're so great. We treat our immigrants so amazingly. But it's like these dumb idiots are the same retards that don't know anything about the economy and economics, and they think money is infinite. They think money will go on forever. Canada is a rich country. We're mean to turn away these people. We'd be mean not to give these people free shit or to take this stuff away from them now. That would be very mean of you to do that. But it's like, no, man, we have limited resources. We can't just be throwing it away like this, like Trudeau is doing with our money. It's just throwing it away, and it's all just to make sure that he gets re-elected in the future, because obviously all the new immigrants, the people, yeah, the first year you become an immigrant, first year you can now technically vote. Oh, we're gonna give you free access, and guess what? Remember that it came from the liberals. It's fucking insanity. That's why I'm against just large governments as a whole, because they're inevitably going to buy off the people or try to buy votes. And we shouldn't get mad at the immigrants and stuff receiving this stuff necessarily, like this type of program right here. Get mad at the fucking illegal border crossers, but people taking advantage of it, using this, it's not their fault. But see, this is what government does. It creates division, and it creates racism or bigotry, whatever you want to call it, between groups. Because when you see one group getting money and then this other group isn't, and we are naturally tribalistic, we're always going to think in these terms of groups and stuff. And when Canadians see nothing ever, their money being stolen, them not being allowed to keep it, and then it being given to other minority groups that are just coming into the country or whatnot, that's going to create more tension, more hate in the future, and it might be ill-placed to some of these people, and then bad things could potentially happen one day, and that would be perfect for the globalists, the authoritarians, because then they can come in and implement a fucking police state like they're trying to do in Toronto, right? It's like they want to ban all handguns. Diversity is not our strength. We used to have more rights before. Now we have less. They're going to attack our freedom of speech because they don't want us to offend other groups that are coming into Canada potentially. So it's going to be like, well, look, this group is now offended by, there's that thing, CBC, the French version of it, making fun of Trudeau and his India trip, dancing around, and they're all like, this is racist, and you're making fun of our religion, and all this stuff. And it's like, oh, shut the fuck up. We satirize Christianity and that all the time, and Jesus, and nobody says it's fucking racist or anything like that. So if you can't take it, leave the fucking country. But that's inevitably what is going to happen. People, they care more about their group. They're going to get offended. They're going to get mad. And and then the government's going to come in and exploit that more. So then they can come in and say, oh, well, we need to take away your freedom of speech because we don't want you offending these people. We need to take away your right to own a weapon because it is a crazy, there's tons of crime in Toronto, right? And it's like it's not even correlated with the legal gun owners. It's always with the illegal gun owners. As we know, fucking criminals do not follow the law. You're not gonna get handguns off of the streets. But I'm getting off track here again, and it's just I see these programs all the time, and it's like it just keeps building up, and you're like, oh, more money, more, and you're like, I'm sure some insane, crazy people are probably seeing some of this shit too, and they're gonna react. They're gonna do something that a regular sane person won't, because all they're seeing is, yes, there's a lot of negative things and stuff, but there is a lot of negative things about what Trudeau is doing, and it's like you can't really blame a crazy person for reacting to that also. Like, stop taking advantage of us, then it won't make some people fucking snap and go crazy. What is going on in like places like Germany and stuff, where you see these people running into crowds of refugees and stuff because the German government is ignoring them, not listening to the people, and the first people that are going to take action and hurt people and kill people, innocent people, are the crazies. So, you know, like freedom of speech and all this stuff is important. That's why we got to listen to everybody, regardless of how hateful they may sound to you. Okay? It doesn't matter how fucking hateful they sound to you. We need to allow freedom of speech as long as they're not advocating violence or something like that. But if what they're saying sounds really bad, doesn't matter. You know, like it doesn't matter. We need to protect everybody's speech in general. But that's going to become increasingly harder in a multicultural society. But, you know, that's pretty much all I had to say. I was going on more of a rant there. I was initially going to just talk about this cultural access pass because, yeah, that's just, you know, I don't know. I'm sure most of you guys feel the same way. You just keep seeing your money being stolen and given to people, and it's not fair, right? At the end of the day, it's just not fair. It's unacceptable, and it needs to stop, and we need to wake up to this. We need to wake up to the fact that we don't have money forever. We can't live off of debt. We can't keep this going forever. So at one point we need to be tough. At one point we need to say, okay, enough is enough. Okay, we can't keep up with these programs where we're giving all of this money away and getting very little back in return, because that is what is going on right now, and it can only go on for so long. And you know, this is just another example of useless spending, and you know how governments, you know, are just shit in general. And I don't, you know, the conservatives and stuff, they're gonna buy votes too. They give subsidies to people too. But honestly, liberals, way fucking worse. Like, you know, they're just terrible. They're so blatant about it, and it's like, you know, I don't even know what to say to this stuff anymore. Honestly, it's just, you know, daily something new. But I don't know. Thank you for joining me, guys. I hope you all have a great day, and take it easy. See ya.